From your local source, WCJB TV 20, this is TV 20 News at 6.
A candidate for Alachua County Sheriff faces an investigation into multiple cases of domestic abuse.
Deputies say they responded to a domestic battery call last week involving Deputy Zach Zedalis and his wife, Sergeant Kathleen Zedalis. Deputies were called out after receiving a report of an incident between the couple. Zedalis, a former University of Florida football player, is running against Sheriff Sadie Darnell in the 2016 sheriff's race.
Both employees have been suspended pending the outcome of a review of the criminal evidence, the criminal case, and an active internal investigation that is being conducted at the same time.
ASO says while investigating the first case, new claims of abuse have surfaced that name Zach Zedalis as a suspect. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement has been asked to take over this part of the investigation to avoid claims that the charges are politically motivated. Coming up at 11, TV 20's Alex Browning speaks to Deputy Zedalis regarding the incident.
Let's take a first look at the weather now for north central Florida. Great to see the return of sunshine.
And Chief Meteorologist Bill Quillen is here too.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back too. We are expected to see more of these showers and storms developing as we head through the next couple of days. This evening looks pretty quiet. Temperatures beginning to drop off just a little bit. We were in the low 90s for the afternoon high, now 88 degrees. Winds out of the west, southwest at 13. Humidity is 57%. Cloud cover. Well, we had a lot of sunshine early on in the day. Just starting to see some of the clouds build in with the showers mainly to the north. That's where we've had most of the stronger thunderstorm activity and just a spotty shower activity right now, moving in across north central Florida back into parts of Putnam County and Bradford County, even Alachua County, a little bit further to the west. Dixie County, we had a little scare over across city with some showers moving through, but believe me, it's not going to be that bad tonight. Tomorrow that could change, however, with more rain in the forecast. So isolated evening showers and thunder showers are still possible for the next couple of hours, increasing in storms for more widespread attention for your Friday. And then why have the tropics been so quiet? We'll try to explain that coming up in a few minutes.
A woman who is the victim of an apparent hit and run is being remembered by family and friends tonight. TV 20's Charmaine Nero talks to those close to her about her life and memories.
I feel severely heartbroken.
That's what many of the family who knew Nikki Jones had to say. Another shocked. The 36-year-old mother was here just a few days before she was found dead last week after an alleged hit and run.
I really feel for her children. That is one of the things that I do know also that she kept very dear and close to her.
Nikki Jones spent over 25 years in north central Florida before moving out of state. She was in the Air Force for 3 years before being honorably discharged. Family members say the mother of 3 was known as a farm girl who loved the outdoors and was very patriotic.
She wasn't fake at all. She said what was on her mind. She was just a real good person.
When it came to being the support of her family, Nikki was known to always lend a helping hand.
And was very caring. She would give you the shirt off of her back if she knew you needed it.
Lisa Allen has known Nikki for over 20 years. She says she remembers her being a family person who would do anything for those she loved.
She helped keep me going. She lived with me for a little while, and during that time and during the class and the course, she made sure that I continued and kept going with it and got my certificate with it.
Soon after Nikki was reported missing, an outpour of support came from the community with people sharing images of the missing mom. Friends say it was great to see people concerned about her well-being.
If something like this happens within a county or a small town, or those who grew up with her in a small town, it hits home, no matter who it is.
Florida Highway Patrol says that the case is still ongoing and they are actively working on the investigation.
Based on some of the evidence, it is possible that it could take at least 2 to 3, possibly more, months to complete this investigation.
But family members are remembering the good times with Nikki. They have created a memorial fund in honor of Nikki to support her children. Charmaine Nero, TV 20 News.
Just 2 weeks from the premiere of Country Music Television's Gainesville show, one of its stars is now in trouble with the law. Andrea Giansanti was arrested early this morning for driving under the influence. The Gainesville Police Department says that Giansanti crashed into another car while trying to enter the Arby's parking lot on Southwest Archer Road. Giansanti apparently told the officer she'd been at a friend's home when she went to get food, but then remembered that her mom had made her food and she tried to leave. Officers say Giansanti refused to complete the DUI tests.
Marion County Sheriff's deputies are searching for a missing 14-year-old girl. Victoria Edwards was last seen at her home on Southwest 32nd Court in Ocala 2 days ago. When she said goodnight to her twin sister, Edwards packed a backpack full of clothes and left a letter for her family, informing them she was running away. Edwards is 5'1" with brown hair and blue eyes, and anyone with information is asked to contact the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
An Alachua County school aide pled guilty to aggravated child abuse today for hitting a special needs teen on a school bus. John Heath was sentenced to 5 years of probation for the charges. Heath was fired from his job after video was released of him hitting the 14-year-old girl. Judge Mark Mosley also ruled Heath could not have physical contact with any children unless they are biologically related to him.
The wait is finally over. Drivers will soon begin to see long-awaited messages displayed on warning signs along parts of I-75 and US 441.
The message boards come 3 years after a series of fog-related crashes on I-75 that killed 11 people. TV20's Nico Clemens tells us this system will eventually run from the Marion County-Alachua County line all the way to Georgia.
These signs were scheduled to go up at the beginning of this year, Dave and Paige, but a number of these things delayed that from happening. Nevertheless, crews were out today hanging these signs, and drivers in North Central Florida say it's about time.
Long overdue, but it takes time to get those things to happen.
Sean Bossart says he remembers how the conditions were along I-75 3 years ago and how that deadly disaster affected much of this community.
I live on Paynes Prairie, and I get up in the morning, and it's just that one little stretch of area that seems to get clouded up the most. So with these signs, and at least people will be thinking about it, even if they don't catch it in time, at least people will be aware that that's an area that's affected by fog.
Several things delayed these overhead message signs from going up. People asking FDOT to relocate the signs, and most recently weather. There are 4 signs that will finally be going up, 3 along I-75 and 1 for drivers heading northbound on US 441 before Paynes Prairie.
They will help a great deal, very great deal. And like I said, if people would pay attention, then we'll have a great deal of lives saved.
Crews will be working into next week to hang up the 3 other message signs. However, once they're up, there will be a test message displayed on each sign for 30 days before actual information is displayed to drivers.
Oh, it's absolutely very important because the taxpayers' money is at stake and also safety is at stake.
The signs will provide numerous types of information as far as safety and emergency messages. There are also weather detector devices and cameras that will allow drivers to know when there is fog in Paynes Prairie. Officials tell us the intelligent transportation system in this district will run from the Marion County line all the way to Georgia within the next 5 to 10 years. Drivers like Bossart says he's confident this technology will prevent another disaster from happening.
It'll make things clear for people to drive through and prevent more accidents, and less people will get hurt.
And again, FDOT crews plan on hanging up 2 more signs tomorrow on I-75 and the last one next week on 441. They should start displaying messages by September. Nico Clemens, TV20 News.
With the debate to raise the minimum wage in the national spotlight, residents in North Central Florida have been fighting for a raise.
We'll tell you why some employees will get a change in their pay coming up next on the TV20 News at 6.
Watching WCJB TV20 News at 6 with Paige Beck, David Snyder, meteorologist Bill Quinlan, and sports with Adam Solomon.
Employees of at least one county of North Central Florida should expect a pay raise starting next year.
While some believe this is a step in the right direction, TV20's Stephanie Bachar reports others believe there's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
At the start of the year, the lowest paid county worker was making $10.05 an hour. With today's decision, at the start of next year, that employee will be making $12 an hour instead.
About 50 people crammed in today's special budget meeting, most asking for county worker wages to be raised. But the definition behind a livable wage depends on who you ask.
The poverty level is at $11.66 an hour, so now we won't have any workers, full-time workers in the county making a poverty wage, but they're still not making a living wage, which is around $14.50 an hour.
The Alachua County Labor Coalition provided the County Commission with a study created by MIT, which shows that a living wage for Alachua County is $14.57 an hour.
$14.57, the MIT study is base pay plus health care plus retirement for a person to live in Alachua County not in poverty.
Commissioner Ken Cornell proposed a plan that would help the lowest paid county workers reach $15 an hour by increasing $1 a year, something his fellow commissioners did not feel comfortable with. One commissioner stated that this type of increase may create dissatisfaction for other county employees who have been there longer.
I don't think they're going to react in the spirit of camaraderie. I think they're going to resent what the county's doing to them.
The commission moved to make the lowest county wage $12 an hour. They also decided that the county manager and attorney would review standards for the possibility of implementing that $12 minimum wage towards contracts with private employers as well.
Regardless of who your employer is, whether it's the county or whether it's a private employer, you deserve a living wage. That's our firm belief, and we think that the county has to do everything in its power to advance a living wage to workers in this community.
At the end of this year, the county will conduct a wage study to further explore the issue at hand. Stephanie Bichara, TV 20 News.
And a similar announcement was made by the University of Florida president this week. UF will now increase its minimum hourly wage from $10 to $12 an hour. Faculty and staff not covered by collective bargaining agreements will also be eligible for a 2.5% increase based on merit. Now, about 450 staff employees will be affected by the increase in the minimum wage at an estimated cost of a little over $1 million. The 2.5% merit pool is available for eligible faculty and staff at an estimated cost of more than $18 million.
Our goal is to have competitive market-based compensation for faculty and staff, and this additional salary will go a long way towards helping us achieve that goal.
University presidents have the authority to provide increases to their employees despite the fact that the legislature did not recommend any salary increases for state employees. The increase kick in on January 1st.
Well, we actually saw quite a bit of the sun today around North Central Florida.
So you could go outdoors and you didn't need to have an umbrella in your hand for a change.
Yeah, I don't think you need one for this evening. Tomorrow, however, that could change with more rain moving back into the forecast for your Friday and the weekend. All that forecast in just a couple minutes.